Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to this Superliminal Games YouTube video. That's right, it's Dan again. I know, I was your last Magic video, and I will be this week's Magic video. And shh, if you can keep a secret, I'm next week's Magic video too. So what am I here for today? I'm here to play a little Historic. I'm here to play probably the most fun deck I think I've played on Arena in the entire time it's been out. I know it is at least the most all-in deck. This is the Neoform combo deck that relies on Seagate Stormcaller, Neoform, Dualcaster Mage, and Glasspool Mimic to create a bunch of copies of Neoform until you get a board full of 3/3s, get a Tuk-Tuk Rubble Fort to give them haste, and for extra rub-ins get a Combat Celebrant in there so they can all attack twice. I've beaten pretty much every deck in Historic with this deck at some point or another since I've been playing it. And I've been playing it, it's the only Historic deck I've played since Zendikar Rising came out. So it's been quite a lot of fun whenever I have time to play Historic over these last couple of weeks. Whenever I can steal some time away from either dad duties or working, I have been playing this deck and I have a ton of fun with it. There are several builds of it going around. This is a super all-in build. We are looking to get our 4 mana on turn 3 as often as possible. The deck is built to dig with the Opts, the Shimmer's a possibility, and the Anticipates. All we want to do is get to the Neoform and the Seagate Stormcaller. Reliably, this deck can win on mulligans to 4 and 5, because all you need is those 2 cards and 4 mana, and the game is over. Pretty much against any opponent. The Black-Red or Black-Red X sacrifice decks that have ways to steal our Gilded Goose for ramp or steal Paradise Druids and things like that are kind of difficult to deal with, especially if they're dealing damage while sacrificing things. That's tough as well because they can ping off our 1 toughness creatures, so we have nothing to sack to the Neoform. But it's also kind of resilient. There's a lot you can do. One of my favorite things to do is with Gilded Goose and double Neoform, you can get there. As well, because you Gilded Goose, Neoform into the Seagate Stormcaller, and then you Neoform the Seagate Stormcaller, and you get your chain going as well. Again, it's very all-in. It is a glass cannon. You will lose quickly or you will win quickly. If the game goes long, you're probably not in it to win it. I've pulled out several long games just by virtue of my opponents not being able to answer, but that's not super likely. So, again, it's glass cannon, but it's a combo deck, so you kind of expect at least a little portion of that. Let's get into some ladder action here and play a little bit of this. Go to Historic. I've already got it queued up. It's the only Historic deck I play. And we'll see what we can do. We are at Platinum rank in Limited. Normally I'm pretty high Platinum anymore, but since I've had a child, that has become a little bit more difficult for me to go to, but I'm still in the Platinum ranks. Alright, so we've got Glasspool Mimic in hand, which is kind of unfortunate. Hope we don't draw too many of those. We also do have one of our Tuk-Tuk Rubble Fort. If we draw the other one, we're a little stuffed, but we have a Stormcaller and 2 Shimmers here, and so that's the ability to dig for Neoform. So I'm going to keep this. We're on the draw. If we draw Neoform, we just got to get to 4 mana, which we have 3 mana in hand already with the Mimic, the Breeding Pool, and the Paradise Druid. If not, we can dig to Neoform with the 2 Shimmers. So I'm going to keep this, and we'll see what's up. We'll give our opponent the nice hello. Okay, opponent is Elves, and we drew the Neoform, just like we drew it up. So we will play the Glasspool Shore. Now we are digging for a 4th mana, so if we don't get one this turn, we will Shimmer. If we do get one, okay, we didn't, so we're going to play this untapped, and we're going to Shimmer. Shimmer over the Anticipate because it lets us dig deeper. There's the 4th land, well, 4th mana, so next turn we play this tap, play Paradise Druid, and then on turn 4 we kill them. Pretty easy peasy. Okay, play that tapped, play Paradise Druid, and kill our opponent. Yep. Ugin makes a blocker, and we just don't care. Because we Shimmer. Oh! We don't Shimmer, we Seagate Stormcaller. Well, that is an absolute punt. Oh boy. we just punted big. Cool. It's been a while since I've done a video, so we're just gonna just play that and hope they don't kill us this turn. We can opt and pretend we totally meant that. That was a straight punt. Okay, opponent's going to put another land into play. Nice thing is here, if we have to, we can block with Paradise Druid, but I don't think... Nope, opponent's just ramping, so we are going to be able to have outlived our punt here. Now they're solemn. Okay, so opponent definitely has on tap the mana that they need to get a nice, enormous Craterhoof Behemoth next turn, but fortunately we're not going to need to worry about that. Alright, we will anticipate at end of turn, and we'll just pretend we didn't have it. Okay, now let's do this the right way. Sack the Paradise Druid. Dualcaster. Dualcaster. Nice thing about Arena is it's auto-copying the Neoform, as it's the only thing on the stack. And now we'll get our 3 Glasspool Mimics, copying our Dualcaster Mage. So here we are going to need to attack more than once, pardon me, with the Combat Celebrant, so it's nice that we have that. And one of the reasons this deck runs 2, I've seen several decks only running one of them. Having 2 ensures you against drawing it. That is exerted. So we will send all of this at our opponent's face. And now, even no matter how they block, they're going to get 4 new cards in their hand, which is nice, but we're still going to take them out. Yep, and there they go. Alrighty. So, even through a punt, we still get there quickly as well. Like I said, it's just about getting those 2 cards in your hand and 4 mana on the battlefield and a 2-drop creature. Ooh, all kinds of progress there. Let's run it back again. Once you get those 2 cards and 4 mana, you don't even necessarily need another 2-drop, but with another 2-drop it does make the attack a little bit better, a little bit easier, and you just go. It's very quick. Like I said, Arena does it very openly there and clearly for you. Alright, we've got a Shimmer, 2 Neoforms, and 4 land. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Again, we're shimmering, looking for a Seagate Stormcaller. Opponent has a Lurrus. There are about 4 different things that this Lurrus could be, so I'm not overly... I'm not overly worried, but I am concerned. Opponent has Mulligan to 6, which is nice, gives us a little bit of benefit. Okay, opponent is in fact exactly the deck I don't really always enjoy seeing, and that is black-red. I'm hoping they do not Thoughtseize us, though we do have Neoforms, plural. Okay, we got a young Peasy. Go and shimmer away and get another Shimmer. So we'll play a tap Stomping Ground next turn and then shimmer again. We do need 2nd blue mana. Alright, Croxa. That is going to eat an opt. I don't want it to eat a land yet because I don't necessarily want them to start dealing damage to us. This red-black deck can actually deal a lot of damage very quickly. Alright, so we're going to play this Glasspool Mimic as our other blue mana because we do need 2 blue mana to go off. There's a Stormcaller. Alright, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Big money, no Thoughtseize. If they don't have Thoughtseize, we got them. If they have Thoughtseize, we don't got them. Croxa again. Alright, this time it's going to eat a forest. Oh, drew a Dualcaster Mage too. That's annoying. This is going to make green mana. Stormcaller's coming in. Copying. Neoform's coming down. Sacking the Stormcaller. Once again, we're going to need the Combat Celebrant here because we will... Oh no, Or yes, we will. We will need the Combat Celebrant just to deal its damage, though. Because we only have 3 dual casters and 3 Glasspool Mimics, and 6 and 3 is only 18. But we have it, so no problem. Combat Celebrant, Tuk-Tuk Rebel Fort, and the opponent has conceded into the face of our attack. No big surprise there, but like I said, the deck either wins quickly or it loses quickly, so let's run it back again. I like to try to get at least 3 games in when I'm playing here on stream or on video. One of the things that I like about this build of the deck specifically, like I said, it's very all-in. I think it is good for the best of 1 ladder. In fact, I think it's better than the other build of the deck on the best of 1 ladder because it folds it to certain decks a little bit more than other builds would, but it has this explosive capability that you don't need to worry about your opponent sideboarding for you or anything else. So I have a Neoform and I have an Anticipate. Having a Rebel Fort and 2 Glasspool Mimics in hand does worry me a little bit, but we're on the play. We get to Anticipate pretty early on turn 2. We have 3 mana here. I'm going to play Glasspool Mimic tapped on turn 1 as a land, and we just have to hope that we can still get there through Combat Celebrant when we do go off, and that we don't draw our other Tuk-Tuk Rebel Fort, because if we do, it gets a lot more difficult. So maybe this is the game that we've been looking for that might go a little bit longer. We'll see. Glasspool Mimic tapped. We'll give our opponent the hello, which we did not give our last opponent. Max would be so upset with me. Okay, and now we don't have to play a tap land. Just going to Anticipate now. And there's the Combat Celebrant that we don't want to draw. So I'll bring up this Crag Crown Pathway. Words are hard. Okay, and we'll play the River Glide Pathway. And pass it up. The opponent is blue-black. I'm assuming our opponent is Rogues or Flash. Opponent has played a Brineborn Cutthroat, so our opponent is Flash. This could be difficult because if they have mana up, we never know if it's counter magic. And we are a combo deck, which bends it to counter magic. So we will play our Breeding Pool tapped, and we will pass the turn. Okay, our opponent has a Slitherwisp. We are going to Anticipate response, and we're going to grab a Paradise Druid. Slitherwisp is tough. They can really start chewing down our life total with this. Flash is a cool deck. It's one I need to check how many Slitherwisps I have, because this would be a deck I think I'd really enjoy putting together. Oh, we are just absolutely flooding out here. This is ridiculous. But we'll play the Paradise Druid in case we need it to block. And we can go. Yep, there's another Slitherwisp. Yikes. This is when we start to get really worried. So if they attack with both Slitherwisps, we're blocking with the Paradise Druid. Because we need to. Because we have one more turn in us, basically, to draw what we're looking for. So we're looking for either Seagate Stormcaller, Shimmer of Possibility, Anticipate, or Opt to get us to a Seagate Stormcaller, or we are very dead. Okay, Brineborn Cutthroat attacking in doesn't necessarily change their clock here, because we're still dead in 2 turns anyway. Wow, okay. Do we have answers? I don't think so. Just going to go ahead and have that enter tapped, and we're going to play a Tuk-Tuk Rebel Fort because it's a blocker. This is again where the all-in nature... Ah, a rewind. Well, now we are well and truly stuffed. Because to play a Glasspool Mimic here would do nothing. So, can't get up on anything there. Maybe we should have played an untapped land there so we could play the Glasspool Mimic. because Cunning Nightbonder is going to be the end of it. Because we can block the Brineborn Cutthroat, but we've still got 8 coming at us. I really need to check how many Slither Wisps I have, because this deck is fun. Wow, okay, opponent is just giving us the still had all these. Gonna go ahead and concede it up there. Alright, so we're 2-1. Let's try to play one more, because they've all been, as I said, pretty quick games. So we'll go in. See if we can end this 4-game run on a positive record. The other reason that I've really enjoyed playing this deck is I can tell by the way a lot of the opponents play that they probably haven't seen it. Okay, I'm not keeping this hand because it has the... Okay, it's got a Seagate Stormcaller, it's got a turn 1 opt. The 2 dual casters in hand is fine. I am going to keep this hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to untap Breeding Pool, and then we'll opt, and then we are going to tap Steam Vents and Gilded Goose on turn 2, and we just have to hope that we find Neoform, and we can go off. But anyway, I can tell by the way a lot of opponents play that they are either unfamiliar with exactly how the deck works, or not anticipating it to go off quite as quickly, and I really enjoy playing that kind of Magic. It's one of the reasons I enjoy playing combo decks, is you can show an opponent something they probably haven't seen before, or maybe they haven't seen before, and I think that's cool. So I'm going to go ahead and opt now. Again, there is counter magic. We're going to make this Glass Pool Mimic go away. We draw a Tuk Tuk Rumble for it. Oh boy, we're in the business of drawing all the combo pieces. The other downside of playing a combo deck. We will play this Breeding Pool tapped. We'll play Gilded Goose. Cool thing is, if we draw Neoform naturally next turn, we just have it. We have everything we need. Opponent is red-green. They could shock our Goose, which is the right thing to do. We're going to stomp our Goose, which is like bolting the bird. There's the Neoform. Darn it, we drew it naturally. Could have had it. Could have had it all. So now we just need a 4th land, and we are solid and good to go. Robber of the Rich, that is fine. Opponent has the same number of cards in hand that we do. So we will go to 16, and then back up to 19 at the end of turn. Eating some food. And there's a land, and our opponent is nicely tapped out, so we are going to do this. And then we are going to do this. And we are going to send Death Dragon to the Shadow Realm. Once again, this is one of those games where having the Combat Celebrant is infinitely necessary, because we are not going to be able to produce enough damage to be lethal without it. Well, I'm glad I kept this hand. I was a little cagey because of having the 2 dual casters in it, and then when we drew that Rubble Fort, it was just kind of like, oh boy, really? Is this what we're going to have to go with? But we get there anyway. Just jam into the opponent there, and off we go. Well, I will admit, that was a quick one, and for 4 games, that was really quick, but my final thoughts are, if you like combo decks, I think this is one of the most resilient, well, not resilient, but one of the most fun combo decks on Arena. I also think it is absolutely a blast that can catch your opponents completely off guard, and it is honestly not super expensive to build, especially if you've been playing your limited, because you have 2 mythics and 4 mythics there in the Combat Celebrant and the Seagate Stormcaller, and then the rest are rares or less. Obviously, your lands, you're looking at 4, 8, 12, 14, 15, 16 rare lands. That's a lot. 4 lands in Dualcaster Mage is also a lot, especially with it being Jumpstart. The odds that you opened 4 of them are a little slim. I burnt a ton of wild cards to make this deck. Worth it, again, because I've been having so much fun with it, but it's not a budget deck. But if you've been playing and you've been doing your dailies and you've got a lot of wild cards, you've got packs, if you played a lot of Jumpstart, if you've been getting your rare lands, which is, I think, the most important thing to do, on this platform, you absolutely have enough probably to build this deck. And like I said, there are other builds. There are builds that only use one combat celebrant, so there's a mythic rare that you don't need. There are builds that use different mana base, so if you have more Crag Crown pathways or River Guide pathways, give those a shot, you know? I have a complete playset of all of the rare lands because I've played this game a lot, and I make videos and I stream it, so I kind of need to have the ability to build almost any deck. The sideboard as I have it here, I don't ever play this best of 3, but is Spell Pierce, Life Goes On, Soul Guide Lantern, Gaia's Blessing, Mystical Dispute, and Flame Sweep. Flame Sweep is really good against any sort of small onboard deck. Mystical Dispute is just a great counterspell. Gaia's Blessing is good to counteract the escape creatures, specifically the Croxas and Euros of the world. Soul Guide Lantern, same thing. Life Goes On, just a good against the red decks. There have been many games where I'm like, all right, I just need to survive one more turn, and they either burn me out, stomp, or shock, even, something like that. And then Spell Pierce, it's counterspell, like Mystical Dispute, which is very good. And it's cheap. You can have it on the turn you try to go off if they have counter magic. So, yeah, if you're into combos, it's worth a shot. If you like what you're seeing, please go down there, right below me, and with the old the liking, the commenting, the subscribing. Engage with the content if you like the content. You can also find us and everything we do at www.superliminalfilms.com. We can also be found on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere the words superliminal and films or entertainment or games can be found next to one another. You will find us. Bye, everybody.